Hi all and welcome to this range test of the Hyundai Ioniq. This is the original model and Hyundai's first electric car. In fact, they did market it once as the first car to be sold without a combustion engine. Make your own judgments. Nonetheless, it's quite the full package, especially for the time. It has a 30 kilowatt hour battery pack with 28 kilowatt hours usable, giving it a range of about 190 kilometers according to the EV database. So it is very efficient, if a little light on motor power, at 88 kilowatt going through the front wheels. I reckon it's a really nice looking thing from the outside. It's a compact fastback shape. It's got fairly Jetson styling, loads of LED lights and faux metal and copper accent. It looks quite premium. The wheels are not very big, but they are quite aero. And on NZ roads, that's a bit of an advantage for range and for comfort. Getting in, you have keyless entry. The vented leather seats are heated front and rear, plus the driver's seat has an easy entry function to make getting in and out easier. Vegos might not like the leather, but I don't mind. It's a used car, so nothing died for me to sit on it. Settings they want you to choose before you drive are down here, hidden away, and you can affect the gauge cluster brightness, traction control, blind spot monitoring, and the lane keep. I do hear that this car has quite a good ADAS system, so I'm pretty excited to try that out. Up on the steering wheel, we have cruise control and car settings on the right, horn in the middle, with the phone and the audio settings on the left. Behind that, you have paddles for regen braking. The cluster is quite nice to look at. It's quite modern and classic at the same time. It shows the state of charge, the guessometer, and how much fun you're having. The second screen can be turned off so you don't get distracted, or it can show a clock if you prefer. It's a pretty smart mix of touchscreen and buttons. Has a shortcut to the EV stuff as well, as you might use that quite a lot. It has 3 drive modes and they can all be customized. The AC can also be set to the driver only to save energy. There are no maps, but we do have CarPlay, which most people prefer. Down below that, there's 2 power outlets and a USB, plus a wireless phone charger with a hidden outlet somewhere nearby. I'm not going to tell you where, just in case it's secret. The drive selector is a little odd as it feels like a Leaf one, but it's really buttons. It makes sense pretty quickly. You have your heated seats and steering wheel, plus the hold mode switch, which is really nice to have when you're in traffic. Up above, you have a mirror to check your hair. It does have a light on it with a fun little switch which turns itself off physically when you close the visor. The rear window does have a big split through the middle, and that does make it a little hard to see out the back, but the reverse camera is really good. It's nice and clear to make up for that. There is no frunk, but the boot is good for the size of the car, and it has both underfloor storage and a cargo net. The rear seats have a 60-40 split and the release levers can be reached inside or outside the car. Overall, it's a nice place to be inside. It has lots of soft materials and the copper accents really tie the room together. In actual fact, Hyundai have really gone to town on the copper accents in this car, displaying little touches pretty much everywhere.
Here, 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 and here. Here, 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 and here.
The big unusual feature of this car is the battery pack is under the back seats. They are actively cooled, and this layout means that the front seats sit lower, the roof can be lower, and the whole car can be much more aerodynamic and therefore efficient. Charging wise, we have Type 2 CCS, and it should run up to 100 kilowatts DC charging. So we'll run it up on the hypercharger at the end of the drive and see how quickly we can actually get to 100 kilowatts, or see how close we can get at least. It does have 7 kilowatt on-board AC charging, so it's easy to charge overnight or at a destination charger. The stereo is really nice. It's got an Infinity setup with a big duff in the trunk and, as I said before, wired CarPlay. So you get Spotify and up-to-date maps with live traffic and all that good stuff. We are starting our Round the Lake range test with a full battery, 100%. We left Drive EV with 180 kilometers. Probably I've been shuffling it around in the yard a bit too much. And now we are showing 199 kilometers. That's very precise. So far, 3 EVs out on the highway with me today, which I think is the highest number ever on this trip anyway. Every single one of them Toyota Camrys, of course. Teslas. So we are now on our way back. We've gone through Turangi. We are on 126 kilometers. We are sitting at what, 13.7 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. That is 137 watt hours a kilometer, fact fans. We're still showing 67 kilometers of range. We've got a big hill to climb and a big hill to descend, but I mean, safe to say we're going to make it home. We are just under half a battery. Back at the hypercharger, we have got 27 kilometers of range remaining. drove normally, heated seats on, cruise control and air conditioning for some of the way, not all the way, it wasn't warm enough for it. We did 152 plus 18, we did 170 something kilometers, slightly over today because I did a little detour, and we've got 3 bars left in the battery, so I'll plug it into the hypercharger and see what that is as a percentage, and keep an eye on it, get it up to 80% to see how long that takes, see what the fastest kilowatt we can put into it is, if fastest kilowatt is a thing. In conclusion, the Ioniq is an efficiency beast. It averages under 150 watt hours per kilometre, on this trip anyway, and that's at least 7 kilometres per kilowatt hour in Leaf speak. So the range is easily 190 kilometres or even a little more. We were not able to achieve anything near the 100 kilowatt charging speed, however. We only got 60 kilowatt on the HPC. I think the battery was not very warm and that was the cause of this, but the charge speed was at least consistent, taking under 20 minutes to add 19 kilowatt hours to get from 16 to 84%. And that is the story on the Hyundai Ioniq.